When last we left the party,
What?
that
My
was
hands smell like tuna
happening.
fish.
Abilene and Guido were being carried by two unusual-looking mechanical things that were flying through the air, and Snarg was left behind on Geralyn's Citadel, which at some point you're probably going to have to rename. And I have no idea what Snarg's actually doing on Geralyn's Citadel, to be honest.
Well, pretty much making sure it doesn't crash.
Okay, so it crashes.
Doesn't take a lot of effort.
No, yeah, it's just hovering there. It's good.
You were flying. No, you were flying away from the island,
But
which is now sinking into the sea.
the island is gone. The island is super gone. There's no recovery.
There's no more sinking. It has sunk.
Yeah, exactly. It has turned into protein slurry and disseminated into the ocean. Such as it is. It's kind of a gelatinous ocean at the moment anyways.
I know we're going to name this fortress.
What?
Go with the classic. We'll call it Zeal.
I love it. Nobody else will get it. But, oh, do I still have that picture? Hang on. I have a picture of Zeal. That's awesome. I'm going to put it on the background here. Anyways, so what are you actually doing, Snark, other than sitting there?
Well, I'm trying to recall what exactly specifically happened last time. Because
You
the last thing I
destroyed
remember
Visayan Lascelles.
Was that...
Totally intentionally.
Totally on purpose. Sorry, go ahead.
Was that Geralyn bot told me that Guido and Abilene were being carried away.
Yes.
Is that correct?
They're being carried away, and he's not sure what by. He wouldn't recognize Tumarok devices. So he just knows they're being carried away by something.
He's not sure. Right. Ask him, does it look hostile?
They're bullying them, so I guess not. Abilene seems to be making a lot of noise for some reason, though.
Well, that's pretty normal. But
What does it sound like?
Hang on,
What does it sound like?
let me pipe in the speaker.
What does it sound like? Blah, 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 blah.
You hear a lot of clanging as I'm hitting Guido's helmet,
Helm.
and her saying, "I want to go back to the ship. I want to go back to the ship."
That sounds a little bit like distress.
Oh, Guido and Abilene, could you both roll awareness really quick, please?
Oh, wow.
Dice, I rolled a 15 plus something.
27.
Wisdom?
Yes. Wisdom plus any awareness bonuses you may or may not have.
It's a natural
so
19.
That's a 21.
Jeez. Wow.
Do I have any other bonuses?
Put this in there. Is it over 20?
Yes.
Okay, so the two of you, both, as you're looking around, you notice that peeking up only like a couple of feet above the gelatinous water, kind of pushing through it, is what looks like the mast of that ship earlier. And it's just slowly following you.
Snarg, about this time you hear the screams get louder. Back to the ship! I want to go back to the ship! Put me back on the ship, please! I want to go back on the ship!
Now, I actually considered letting you communicate with the Tumarok carrying, and then I realized you're not actually being carried by Tumarok. You're being carried by automated drones that have no external speakers or microphones.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Have we left the
Ooh, there's an idea.
the radius of the Citadel's non-magic field?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually
So
not
that
that large, really.
Okay. So that means that Abilene would now start to feel the effects of my aura.
No fear aura, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Abilene, you are now buffeted against fear.
Evens or odds, Guido?
Odds.
Okay, I feel slightly better now.
Okay.
It's like, this is abject terror?
It doesn't make you immune to fear.
Yes, I know. That's
It gives
why
you a
I
bonus,
mentioned-
I think. Or something
Yeah,
like
it's just a bonus. So you're still
That's why I
terrified.
mentioned
You're
You
still
could
terrified.
you could still be terrified. It's okay. It's okay. So Snarg, I'm kind of covering you first because I don't know what those two can do other than teleport or plummet.
Or ride the thing.
So what are you doing, Snarg?
Okay, well, he puts it in park. He says, all right, GB, just let me know if there's anything weird. I'm going to go and take a look and see if I can't get these things to put them down.
Okay, so you make the several, dozen-minute trip up.
Yes, along that way, I just realized I can do this now since I'm leveled up. I can mark a second target.
Oh, so who's your second one? Guido. Got it. Okay.
No, it's not. The second target is actually going to be Mr. Faceless.
The pirate?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm debating how that would work in this case. What
I
do
can
you?
read you
What do
the-
you I was gonna say, what do you have at this point with the target? Because I know you could sense direction at some point.
Right, nothing incredibly supernatural right now.
Okay.
The only thing that it really gives me is that if I'm chasing him or something like that, I can move incredibly fast. I can ready actions against them outside of initiative. And let's see. And I get special bonuses if they try to do wisdom attacks against me.
Okay. Oh, by the way, you'll be comforted to know I've decided not to completely re-overhaul the class system mid-campaign, so that's not happening.
Okay.
Guido, I know you weren't part of that discussion. We were talking about that when we were going to the movies recently.
Okay.
And I was eventually talked out of it, which is fine. It would take a
Well,
lot of
that-
time anyways, which I don't have a lot of right now.
That takes 10 minutes, so I figured that I can do that while I'm going up there.
Oh yeah, easily. So you have it marked now, along with your other target. You get to the top, and you start hearing this clang, clang, clang.
I look around for the clingy.
You climb up a
clinger.
bit, poke your head out, and there's a couple other of these mechanical things that are quite literally poking, clang, at the aetherite. Just clang, clang.
It's like, hey,
It's a pause.
hey, stop that!
They start
This isn't
hovering.
insured yet.
They're not hovering over you. They're pretty big now that you're looking at them.
I look for an arm.
At this moment, they don't actually. They have what look like arms, but they're kind of on either side, kind of clamped in.
Does it look like so it doesn't look like they actually can rotate or anything like that?
No, at the moment.
Oh.
I mean, there's some
So-
propeller blades that are circling over them, but otherwise they're just long.
Okay. So are they within reaching distance?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So he takes one arm and then he looks for another arm and he gives them a pat on the back. And he says, well, hey boys, what brings you here?
So there's a few seconds pause. Actually, there's about a minute of silence and no reaction. So you probably have a chance to react or do something in the minute of total silence.
So he's like, not a... I'll give you a moment. And he looks out to try and see if he can see Abilene and Guido being carried away.
They're pretty far away. They're like specks at this point. But you do see another speck, which is coming towards you very quickly.
Okay. Like, where are we talking, like, bullet quickly, or...
Jet quickly, if I
Jet
was to use a descriptor.
Is this me?
Okay.
And it's there.
He takes cover... Oh.
It's a... No. So it's a... Although I could do that, but no. Well, maybe I could.
No, because I got sent off to deal with
Yeah, I was going to
shoes.
say, that wouldn't make sense. No. So what it is,
Although the shoes might not be happening yet.
it's a... it looks kind of like the other device mechanical things, except it doesn't have any whirling blades over it. Instead, it's got like these two arms that are blasting out fire for some reason. And then a central like leg, which is also blasting out fire. And it's like balancing itself on all three of these appendages somehow.
He's just... what in the world?
Yeah, you've never heard of jet
R2-D2?
combustion or anything like that. So you're just like, huh? And it kind of lowers itself, and like a little piece of it kind of opens up that you could enter.
I don't want to go to Dagobah.
And it just hovers there for a minute.
Does it have tidings?
No.
I look for an arm.
It's on fire and shooting jet flames out of it at the moment.
It says, we'll buy. I think special exceptions can be made.
Good tidings.
There's actually armrests inside.
Oh, if there's like a chair inside, he doesn't even think this is a thing at all.
Okay. So you climb your way in.
GV, you keep this place locked down. Can we put some lock on this place so somebody come in and start flying in around?
Why are we calling him GB? Isn't he G2?
They'll just shorten Geralyn bot to GB.
Oh, Geralyn bot. Okay.
I will obey.
I was trying to figure out where the B was coming from.
I was too, actually. Geralyn bot says, I suppose I could. At least for the moment.
For the moment.
Well, I mean, if anybody who is a sufficiently powerful scion manages to come along and find it, they will be able to override whatever I did.
Oh, but, sure. Well, but I mean, if that happens, I don't think it'd matter if I was here anyway.
No, fair enough.
So
hang on.
Good.
He reaches out really quick, like you can see his little holographic form. He reaches out. Beep, beep. There we go.
All right. As he's reaching out, I grab his hand.
It's like this big. Would Geralyn? Yeah, of course he would. Geralyn goes, oh, good tidings.
He says, all right, no, good tidings to you. And he tries to pat him on the back, probably goes through him.
Yeah. No, he's think the Doctor from Star Trek. He is.
Oh, okay.
He's got tangibility.
Okay. He's like, all right. Well, you have a good time on the way, and I'll get to the bottom of this and find out what in the world these very strange contraptions are.
Of course. So he kind of situates himself on your shoulder, just kind of doing this, sitting back a bit.
All right.
Thing closes around you. This is when you realize that this was probably not designed with a Knoll in mind. So
it was
it's a lot
probably
smaller.
designed for something leaner.
So it's a little bit cramped, and there's no like visibility port. There's no glass bubble. There's no view screen. You were in effectively total darkness. You can hear a bunch of noise.
It sounds alarming.
Wait a second.
It sounds really loud.
So we never really hashed this out. We just kind of named the trait and left it there. Can my geomancer senses determine anything about this?
It's not a trap, if that's what you're asking.
No, I mean, we were talking about the Witcher senses and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
It is not magical.
Yeah, there's not a speck of magic on here.
Great. Oh, well.
Yes.
What I should actually be saying is, there's not a speck of magic! Because it's really loud. Like, you turn to Geralyn bot, and you're like... And
Okay, so this is probably hurting my ears, so he'll just scrunch up and flatten them against each other. His head and
the whole thing's shaking, and you feel like yourself getting pulled back into the chair really badly, as momentum is just carrying you here. Meanwhile, Abilene and Guido...
We're going through 700 jumps.
So Guido?
Wait, Guido might not have seen the movie yet. Guardians 2.
I didn't even say anything about
Oh,
movie.
no, I haven't, no.
Okay,
but
so-
it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. So, Guido and Abilene, you're still on the whirling blade bots as they're like... You're over land now.
So about this time, so I've calmed down enough to where I'm not afraid of the heights anymore.
Yay!
So I'm going to skimmer my way down Guido, grab onto one of the hands that are making a foot, and like reach up and pat it on the arm because I'm not tall enough to reach its shoulder and say, "Good tidings, can we go back now?"
Okay.
And when assuming I don't get a response, I will then try to turn to the other one and do the same thing.
Okay. So she's like Spider-Man manning her way between these two things here.
Yeah.
Guido,
Well, I'm out of range of the aetherite, so I have my gloves,
that's true.
so I can stick to basically anything
Guido, what are you doing?
because they have purchase.
I'm enjoying the ride.
It's a hell of a view.
You aren't concerned at all about the...
I'm immune to fear, so
Yeah, he is immune to fear, unlike people around him. So he's just like, wow.
Immune to fear.
because I'm a
That seems
paladin.
like cheating.
Well, was a paladin.
Yeah.
No, you're still a paladin,
Yeah.
just not of life.
Life, yeah. It is a hell of a view. I mean, if you've ever seen New Zealand from, like, airplane level, that's kind of what you're looking at right now. Because you're going over the southern foothills that lead around the Maoi area. And it's gorgeous. It's like, oh, wow, this is brilliant. As you go a little bit further, you notice that there's a large metal object in the sky. And it looks really weird. Like, as you're looking at it, it looks very flat. And after a bit, you start to realize it looks like kind of like someone just took a table without the legs and just put it there in the sky. And you're getting close. You're clearly going right for it.
There's a large metal
Table.
Table.
Without legs.
Plate. Without legs. Floating in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Abilene, can I use your little eye magnifier thing?
Yeah, the first thing I do is flip my eyeballs down.
Okay, you do it, then he does it. Or are you going to lend it to him?
Well, what do I see?
Well, I was going to describe it to you one at a time, depending on what you rolled. Or, I mean, all at the same once, depending on what you roll. Sorry.
You know what my goggles do.
Yeah,
they let me see things far away as if I was looking through binoculars.
Yeah, they're binoculars.
Yes, so...
You see a bunch of stuff you don't understand.
Okay.
You see a large number of what look like small, but you can tell based on the context they're about as big as these things carrying you. Metal, vaguely humanoid creatures just clambering all over this thing, back and forth. They seem to be carrying large crates to and from. You're not sure what, but if you had to guess, you'd say this looks kind of like a bunch of ants carrying, grains of food or whatever to a nest or whatever.
They're things on it. They might be people. They're carrying leaves back to the nest.
Now, for anything more, I'm going to need a roll.
Well, I rolled a 5. So I'm so
nothing.
confused, I just kind of absent-mindedly hand my goggles off to Guido.
So, Guido, now, you roll.
Now, is this just a flat observation, or is this an engineering roll?
Ooh. Let's do both separately.
What's
okay.
This thing?
Observation.
Okay.
Is let's see, damn. That's going to be a 29.
That is pretty good. Damn, that's insane.
Well, with the D12s.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Engineering, I have advantage. So, first one is absolute crap.
Okay.
That's a 15, 20.
Yeah, throw that one away. Hopefully.
That's much better. That's a 15 on the D20, so 20, 26, and intelligence or wisdom?
Int.
So that's going to be a 31.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's not what that button does.
So, first of all, the observation. You see a couple things that she didn't. First of all, you see this weird speck getting really large from behind you. You're not sure what that's about. Like, as you grab the mask, you look behind you, you're like, what is that? Whatever. Put the mask on. There is a singular larger entity on the plate thing, much larger than the others, like at least 3 times their size. It is far more humanoid. But what I mean, a lot of the little guys that you're looking at now aren't all humanoid. Some of them are walking on 4 legs with no arms. Some of them have, standard humanoid shape. Some of them have, 2 legs but no arms. There's a variety of different appearances. But the one big one is very clearly standard humanoid. Head shape, arms, legs, standard proportions. He appears to be standing there, And occasionally he like seems to move in a weird motion forward as he kind of dips his head and his entire front torso down a bit, and you look down at what he's gesturing at, and there's a little elf standing right in front of him, gesticulating wildly.
Dobby!
And right about then, you hear this as a thing goes flying by you, trailing fire towards the plate.
Okay.
I climbed in a missile.
Trailing fire, Snarg. You're trailing fire.
You both get there at roughly the same time. Snarg, the thing finally opens up. You are staring at a bunch of mechanical monstrosities carrying crates, and you're probably not aware of the fact that you're like a mile in the air yet. Because like it lets you out like right over it. Remember, there's no viewport, so the first thing you see is just the plate. It looks like just a dock or something.
So he stumbles out. It says, "Oh,
Oops.
hi guys.
Geralyn Bot says, "Can we not do that again?"
Well, what do you care?"
How'd you get here? I mean, what's that? I mean, can you fly that thing?
I have so many questions, and these are them.
Maybe if it had one more leg. But where is this place? He waves again to another one of the little bots carrying the crates.
The bots don't react to you at all, unfortunately. The big guy who I described earlier to Guido, all three of you can see now. He's right over there. You're also, let's say, about 10 feet from the edge.
Oh, good.
Go look.
You said that we were flying over where again?
You are almost directly over Maoi, the actual
Okay.
city of Maoi.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to tell Snarg. You asked where we were. We're over the lovely city of Maoi.
Which you might have
Oh.
visited in your past. Guido, specifically.
I was going to say, I don't think Abilene's old enough.
Abilene probably wouldn't have, and Snarg almost assuredly wouldn't have.
But
Is
you
that
know of
Ostef
it.
territory?
Maoi, for our viewers, since I don't have the map up right now, Maoi is pretty much on the border between the
there it
Osteth
is.
Republic and the Sho Empire. It is still Sho territory, or at least Dominion territory at this point, but it's down there. It's got its own little foothills and everything.
Oh, I see it.
Lush farmlands, very very New Zealandish. Just picture New Zealand, you got it. Picture what's on your screen, although I know it's dark right now, but I've got a pretty background going here.
Oh. He goes over and looks over the edge.
Okay, you are about a mile in the air.
Oh.
Quick,
I
roll
wonder if we're ever going to
Constitution.
reach the ground ever again.
Roll Constitution.
Okay.
Are we over the ocean?
No.
No.
It's pretty good. It's 24.
Okay, so there's this moment of stomach. Okay, but then you catch yourself because you weren't expecting it. This was my first thing. It's like, okay, I'm high up. Got it. Now roll dexterity and not fall.
Great. Okay.
You're an
I'm
ass.
assuming that I'm
17.
Walking.
up, so I'm beside him.
Yeah.
So that once he finishes looking over the edge, my plan was to. Told you we were over the city of Maoi.
Yeah.
I had to see.
Look, it's right there, man. You could kind of see. There's the shopping district down there, that little speck, and
Wait, so there's this big platform over the city. Is there like this huge shadow over the city?
yes, there is actually. It's about high noon at the moment, so it's casting it almost straight down. There's also a loud noise that's just kind of, you're not sure, like you can tell it's coming from underneath the plate. You have no idea what it is. It's just pretty much constant.
I'm not bending over the sea.
I mean, you could grab Guido's hand and kind of be like,
That's all right.
okay.
It's okay.
Abilene, you should climb down with the spider thing. Okay.
You've seen Mission Impossible, right? Where he's on the outside of that.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah.
All right.
So
So since the little guy's not responding, we'll try and get the attention of the big guy.
so
Before you do, Did I get anything from that engineering roll?
Oh, I'm sorry, I completely spaced the engineering roll. So, near as you can tell, this is similar to something that has been speculative up until now. It's the idea of generating a sufficient amount of aerial thrust to push something up against the air, right? Now, right now, airships do that with magic, but some engineers in the Osteth have postulated, again, this is pure theory, that you could do that from purely technological means, just having like and you're like, oh yeah, there's the rotating blades thing. Maybe that's what was allowing them to generate that kind of thrust. You can also tell that this place is brilliantly engineered. Like, the efficiency of this place probably brings a tear to your eye. There's no wasted space, and the efficiency by which the bots are moving things around is almost perfect. Also, since you actually have that, you notice that the direction they're taking the cargo to is otherwise completely unmarked. And yet, if you look at it for a moment, you think that would be a perfect spot for, like, a loading area. Like, no need for any big fancy mark-offs. It doesn't need to have its own section. It's just, if you land right there, it would slot in perfectly, like Tetris style. You know, all very efficiently set up. And they're also, based on what you're looking at, there's nothing like a control center or a bridge or anything you would expect to see. And that's probably the one thing that really mystifies you. Like, if you're looking at this, you're like, okay, I've got an idea of what I'm looking at, but there should be some control tower, and there isn't. It's just the plate.
Okay. So, going back to Snarg, you were going to go approach the gentleman?
Yes, the gentleman.
So this is... okay, I've never actually described these on camera, so I'm going to take my time on this one. What you're looking at is about a... say a 15-foot to 20-foot tall mechanical, very bulky. Its arms almost look blocky and crude, and made of some kind of metal that you probably recognize at this point as titanium. A metal that doesn't actually have a lot of use in Primus overall, because it's not very conductive to magic and weaving, and while it is certainly hard, it is very irritating and frustrating to smelt or otherwise utilize with current existing knowledge and technology. So you look at this thing like, there is like a bulky rhombus on top of where the head would be, which has no features whatsoever. It's just the metal. There's no face, there's no eye port, there's no scannings or beeping lights or anything. It's just metal. And that's the overall look at the thing. The thing is just metal all the way down. The one thing you do notice, with the exception of that, is on both of the hands, and there are actual graspers there, there's like a little slot of what looks like a retracting spot or an otherwise thing that can be modular around the wrists of each hand. You're not sure what that is, but you notice it as you're looking at this thing, especially since it's right friggin' there. It is currently the first thing you hear as you're approaching is a large, booming voice, as if spoken from a megaphone. Say, "Good tidings!" But it's not actually directing it at you guys. And it's speaking it to the elf that is in front of it, who you haven't really been noticing because you've been focusing on this giant titanium thing. And it says, "Good tidings!" And then you hear someone in response say, "No! Ron! We need..."
That is not how she talks.
Well, I can't do female, so what do you want from me?
Oh, that's supposed to be Z. I didn't realize.
Now!
That is not how she talks. At all.
No!
At all.
Is it wrong?
And she's stomping her feet up and down.
She is. She's
She's about 3 feet high.
No. And she's saying something about trying to. We have.
Yes. Good tidings. But you have to take the payment. This is a business transaction. We've been over this.
There's a few seconds pause, and then the response is, "Good tidings."
Yes, good tidings. Today's good tidings. Who taught you about good tidings?
And about this
Can
point.
I speak with your supervisor?
Oh God, what's Guido rolling?
Dexterity.
Okay.
stealth.
Okay. Stomp.
Where did you go? How do I get out of this place?
So, let's see. That's 11
Okay.
with my 2d12s. That's an 11.
Wow. Okay. So, clang, your metal boots on the metal surface are rather loud and obvious. But what are you attempting?
Although I think he might deserve some. I know what he's doing. I think he deserves advantage on this because Z is not paying him the least bit of attention because she's trying to do.
Well, just roll. Oh, here, I'll do it. Actually, I'll do it.
Hold on, I gotta pull open her thing.
I actually already have it up. It's right here. Or I thought I did. I don't.
I got it. It's right here. It's right here. What did I roll?
You rolled a 2.
Well, I am not very. That's a 6.
Okay.
Guido, congratulations. You are successfully sneaking up
She
on
is
me.
so flustered that she doesn't hear clang, 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 clang right behind her. Like, when you start stealthing, you get louder than what you were doing before.
So
Yeah, he's like, walking through it. He's like, clang, clang.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time in this entire campaign when I have successfully stealthed.
I think you are
No,
right.
you did not successfully stealth. I just didn't. Pay
Nope,
attention.
that counts. That is a successful stealth. He managed.
So, I'm assuming that I recognize Z's voice.
Oh yeah, easily. She's in her default form right now.
Okay. So I'm just going to look over at Snarg. Of course, you can't see my face, but, you know.
Yeah.
He's either gonna sneak up and assassinate her or do something else.
And I'm okay either way, really.
So, yeah, I'm going to step up behind Z and gently reach down and not grip, but grip her shoulder. Good tidings, Ariel.
Guido! How did you get here?
I got a ride.
From where?
Visay and LaSalle? That's the right one, isn't it? Yeah.
How did you get to Visayam?
An airship.
I-
Sort of.
Sort of. Sort. You know what? You can tell me about it later. I may not want to know. I suppose some mild introductions are in place. This is unit. What was your unit number again?
I am known as 873635-2. This goes on for a minute.
This is 87365. It's best. You know what? You're Bob now. I'm gonna call you Bob for a little bit because
I am Unit Bob.
Yes. Bob, this is Guido of
Guido, acknowledge.
Red
Good
Hall.
tidings. First thing it says.
I'll reach out, an arm.
It does too, actually. Clonk. Such as it does.
Now, Guido, as much as I would love to catch up, and I do need to speak with you a little later, I'm kind of in the middle of trying to reinstill the concept of transactions. So if you could just give me a second. Don't go too close to the edge. We're about a mile in the air.
Yeah, it's a great view.
Yes, please be careful. If I don't see you fall off and ask them to catch you, they will assume you can fly. I learned
kinda
that
can.
the hard way. Yes, but you have companions who it might not be good to do that in front of?
Well, as long as they don't fall off, it's fine.
Ow.
There, we now have a female black mage to represent Ariel, real quick. Abilene, you are staring at a giant mechanical monstrosity. It reaches down and like one little grasper, it doesn't, they're not, they're all equal. So there's no thumb or pinky, it's just, so one of its little graspers goes, and then this booming voice, "Good tidings!"
Good tidings. What are you? Are you a Lugian? Is this some new armor?
Now, Guido would know that this is actually shorter than a proper-sized Lugian. If he feels
Yeah, but
like...
I've kind of lost my mind for the moment.
I know, I'm just saying, if he feels like correcting you, that's up to him. Then it turns to Snarg.
Hey, good tidings, middleman. He'll give the little shake and pat him on the back.
No. Snarg. This is Unit
Bob.
8675 Bob.
Oh, hey, Bob.
And he is one of the Tumarok, little T.
What? No.
And she actually says that, by the way, guys. She will actually pop up and say, this is one of the Tumarok, little T.
Now, real
I don't
quick,
know what that means.
I know my viewers are
Well,
kind
it's
of...
not the Tumarok, Snarg. It's one of the Tumarok.
You just said the same thing twice.
There's
By the way, don't go
Tumarok.
over to there. We're about a mile above the city. I wouldn't recommend looking over the edge.
I've been up here for a couple of hours now.
in
I'm sorry.
frustration.
Unit Bob, in a minute, sorry.
Acknowledge.
Unit Bob,
Acknowledge.
transactions.
Good
You
tidings.
give, and they give you something else.
Correct.
Yes. This is a transaction.
Good tidings. Now, while it's
Yes.
standing there, well, no, I guess that wouldn't happen for a few minutes. I'm sorry. Nothing happens. Nothing horrible, terrible happens.
Oops. How did I? Oops.
Meanwhile, she made horrible things happen too. So just real quick for my viewers, this is actually... I feel like I've talked about the Tumarok before, and the Tumaroks and the Tumarok, but I think this is the first time they've actually been on camera.
This is.
I know for an absolute fact this is the first time that Guido the character, and Snarg the character, and Abilene the character have interacted with the Tumarok in any
It's not
fashion.
the first time. Serial.
That is true, because she had to save Coulson and Zeiss's hide.
You're welcome,
So-
Wilson and Zeiss.
What...
This
Oh
hide.
God, there's bombs.
What, you guys know enough about the Tumarok at this point to determine your own reaction to being told that you're staring at a Tumarok? Lowercase t, whatever that means.
To be honest, it's kind of underwhelming because you imagine these nightmare creatures, but they're just blocks of metal.
Mm-hmm.
These
Bombs.
nightmare cat creatures.
Box of metal beep.
Now,
So this can't be a, like. Is this a golem? Like, what's going on?
no, this is a Tumarok, little T.
Is it armor?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
I don't get it.
Ooh, I just realized I have a playlist for
Well, it is kind of.
I don't get it either. It's armor or it's not. Like, what's in between?
this. Whoops.
It is a Tumarok.
Okay.
Yes. So it they've been augmented. You remember augmentation?
Yeah. But
Yes,
it didn't look
they-
like that.
It's a different kind of augmented.
So they're like the
Moves your
Bioshock.
face.
Yes.
That doesn't
I'm
seem
not
very
actually
beneficial.
100% sure of the details, but yes is the short answer. They have lost their face and probably most of their...
Seems like they
cells.
lost the memory or something. Hey,
No, they're just now the Tumarok, big T. But this is a Tumarok, little T. So
what's the difference?
the Tumarok is kind of like a king, He's basically in charge of everybody, but it's not like a hive mind. Big guy.
Kings generally don't have hive minds.
No, but he does. He's a dictator. He controls them.
Oh, so he's not a king, he's a dictator.
No, he's their king. He is the Tumarok, big T.
Okay, so he's a Tumarok, and he controls the Tumarok, and he's a dictator king who tells them what to do.
So the Tumarok, little T, are all of the bodies, all of the bits, all of the people, all of the units.
Oh, okay. So he points to one carrying the crate. So he's a Tumarok, he's a Tumarok, he's a Tumarok.
Yes, little
All right.
T's. Ow.
All right. So you guys make it really confusing when you name your people and your king the same thing. I just want to tell you that right now.
Also,
Well, you took it much better than Coulson and Zeiss had.
it's true.
Yeah, they could not get the concept. So, thank you for at least not making this slightly. Now, can you? I really need to get this transaction figured.
What are you trying to transact?
The
Good question.
show have purchased these materials, and there's this entire shipment of shoes over here for some reason.
Oh, for good
And-
tidings.
Yes, and all that he says is good tidings, and they want to pay them for the regular shipment. They appreciate the shoes, but they want to pay them for the rest of the shipment.
Okay.
And it's I'm having to re-explain transactions. You see, they don't understand the concept of ownership. So
Well, doesn't the king own all of them?
Unit Bob.
Beep.
Transaction is
There's a pause.
The sound of an old tape drive wearing up.
No, he's actually pulling back. It's like, hang on. Guys, what's a transaction? Transaction is co-ownership at separate points in time.
yes, with an exchange involved.
Exchange of equal value.
Yes, of equal value.
Equal value will be enforced.
Yes, equal value is enforced. Not through force, though, through transaction.
Through all the force. No, he doesn't say that part. Equal value is. He reiterates that equal value is enforced.
Yes. Yes.
Good
Now,
tidings.
Yes.
As if
I'll
that
shake his hand
explains it.
again.
He says that as if that explains it. Right about at this point, now, finally, one of those little robots trundles over, and it is carrying a small box, which it then plops at Snarg and Guido and Abeline's feet, and the Tumarok says, "Good tidings."
Oh, hey.
There's an equal-looking box, like the same box, sitting right beside Zariel, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, though, obviously.
Yes.
So if you open it up, which I'm going to just make you do,
Yes.
there are 3 pairs of boots in there. They are very bulky looking and very crude and very metallic.
They will fit right in with Guido's armor.
Well, Guido, I'd like you to roll engineering. Because you're the only one who might be able to decipher what the hell these things do.
So that's 29.
Plus the 2d12.
29.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Advantage, that's right.
Yeah, advantage. So I'll just go ahead and give this to you. One of these boots has a weird substance on the bottom that you actually don't know what it is. But when you test it, it like you can activate it by like a movement of the heel, and when you do so, it lets you kind of slide around, effectively increasing your movement speed while it's on at a cost of some dexterity rolls. The other one,
So
I'm
you've
just-
got roller skates.
roller skates, basically. The second one, I'm just going to say it, are rocket boots. And the third pair are grasper boots. They've got like little claws on the bottom that can grip onto something. I'll let you decide which one is which size, based on who wants these, if anybody.
I want rocket boots. Because I need rocket boots.
That's the best argument ever.
You don't want the gripper boots?
No, I have gripper gloves.
Well, your gripple gloves are magic, though. These are not.
Oh.
These will
I
work
want
in
gripper
non-magic
gloves
zones.
and gripper boots. Wait, I want gripper boots and rocket boots. No. I will take either one of those.
Guido?
Well, I don't want the roller skates
Okay.
because I'm already at enough of a negative.
On
Dex.
dexterity, yeah.
Yeah.
What's my dexterity like?
Should be decent.
What are Z's?
I hadn't thought about it.
Wait, no. Z should have rocket boots too,
Okay.
that are actually fire.
Well,
They
it's
spew fire.
it's funny you say that because I was going to give her kicking boots, like boots that shoot out flames. Like you do a kick and then.
No, I like the idea that she has flame things on the bottom of her shoes so she can fly.
Okay.
She already stopped walking.
So Zariel has rocket boots.
Yeah.
Snarg? I mean,
Put that on her page. She
I don't know what
has-
your existing boots are, too.
My existing boots are actually strength boots, so it'd be a thing to give up.
But you don't have to, like, use these. I'm just giving you the option.
I just have to ask, how fast do the roller skates make you move?
So the way I was mentally thinking of it is they just flat out add 30 feet to your movement, whatever your existing movement is.
Wow.
Like
You
they're
know,
not, they're not literally roller skates. They have this substance on the bottom that is super slick.
Sure.
I mean, roller skates is an apt comparison, but I just want to make it clear that this is as opposed to.
Yes. Well, I definitely would think it would be incredibly fun to use the roller skates.
Okay. So Guido, that leaves you with rocket boots or gripper boots.
I'd take the gripper boots.
Okay. So these
I
things,
have rocket boots.
and Abilene now has rocket boots.
I was, oh wow, thanks. Shoot.
You should try them out like right now on the metal platform a mile in the air.
How about no? Snarg starts digging around in his pack, and he starts. He grabs some cold weather boots out. He's like, they like metal, don't they?
Why would you not use metal? Is the response.
Well, because metals, to fleshy creatures, metal sometimes can be uncomfortable to wear against your skin constantly.
Why not remove your skin then?
He has a lot of there's advantages to having skin.
Zariel pops up and says that we can't do that.
2 hours later, after an extensive philosophical discussion about the benefits of skin.
Yes.
Your epidermis is showing.
I'll hop back and be like, okay. So, what I'm understanding here is that you wish to give both the original shipment and the shipment of shoes as good tidings.
Good tidings.
So I will turn to. I'm assuming there is a representative of the show up here as well.
He's kind of huddling in, like he's made a fort of bots, and he's kind of huddling in the middle of them over there. He's a Moorsman, for reference.
What's his name?
Urklunk.
His name is now Urklunk.
A clunk of fear of heights.
Hang on. I have the clans right here. Of Blackwater.
Urklunk of Blackwater.
Oh, hey, there's
On
a.
my understanding, they wish to transaction with you for good tidings.
I don't care. Just get me off this plane.
A gift.
Please. I don't care. I'll take it. Whatever. God, please get me off this.
I'm assuming he wouldn't be this freaked out because this isn't their first transaction.
Well, actually, this is their first time. They actually built... Okay, out of character. They built this platform after the first transaction to make it more efficient. So this is the first time they've just literally hauled all the cargo over on a frickin' cargo platform airship.
So how are we going to get the stuff down?
Transaction complete? The guy asks.
Transaction complete.
All of a sudden, all of you
no,
kind of
lurch.
No.
Wait. I haven't finished yet. So I say, transaction complete. They wish to good tidings to you this. All of the cultural goods that were being provided.
Okay. Then you all feel the lurch.
Did it work?
No. Then it didn't feel the
accept?
lurch. No. Okay, fine, he accepts. But you feel the lurch as the whole platform just kind of starts dropping.
No. I like the idea that they didn't, because Zariel would literally be like, damn.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's just for good tidings, so it'll be fine. I'll have to talk to my superiors about this later.
You're plummeting right now, by the way.
How fast?
Pretty fast.
My rocket boots kick on.
Which ones, Abeline's or Zariel's?
Zariel's.
Okay, Zariel goes, well,
Eveline hasn't put hers on yet. She's comparing them to Sasha and introducing the two.
but you're now plummeting.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're stuck on. She has magical grippy gloves.
Oh, okay. So you're holding on to the ground. Guido,
Yes.
what are you doing as you're plummeting?
And onto my boots. Zariel is... Oh, by the way, Snark, over that way, there is a very tiny flying airship sitting on the platform.
Okay.
It looks completely different than any other airship you've ever seen.
It's strapped in, though, so it's okay.
It is. It has little
It
clamps
just goes
on its
tumbling
feet.
off and lands in the house down below.
So, Guido, what are you doing as you're plummeting? You're muted, sorry.
Dogs were barking. I was planning to have actually put my boots on.
Oh, you have time. You'll have had time. So, rip.
So I have the gripping boots. I don't know what the actual bonus or term is, or if there's any, but-
So it's kind of variable because it's technology. It's not absolutely dependable. But in this case, it'll just grip the metal and keep you in place pretty easily if you choose to activate them. Snarg, what are you doing as you're plummeting?
Well, when that happened, he was likely trying to fit some of the cold weather boots that he was giving back to that little machine onto it. And I'll try to explain to it how this will keep, his cold metal warm in the winter. And then they start plummeting, so the first thing he does is probably just grab onto that thing. So
Yeah,
I imagine
'cause
those things are a little more attached.
they're magnetically attached
Yes,
to the platform.
so he grabs onto it. He's like, extended good tidings! Ah!
After a few, say 20, 30 seconds of plummeting, it slows down gradually until it reaches the point where you have steadied. And you look over and you notice you're maybe 10 feet over the air now. And then all of the swarms of bots just descend upon the cargo and very quickly and efficiently, Tetris-style stack it and themselves, literally put it here, and within seconds, all of it has been unloaded. The Moorsman hastily hops off the platform, and then the
10 feet,
platform...
ka-thunk.
he just wants to get the hell out of here. And then the platform takes off again.
Wow, efficient.
Transaction complete. And then it starts moving sideways.
Where are we going now?
North.
Wait. So why did you bring us to this place in the first place?
You were identified as Dominion agents.
Oh, well, I guess that's
Is-
not...
who's going to say that?
Bob. Or possibly Fear. Zariel.
That's not how Bob talks.
No, it isn't. Dominion agent... excuse me.
Identify positive Dominion agent.
Yeah. I really have to think of how the Tumarog talk. It's unusual structure. Okay. As you're heading over, Zariel realizes, oh god, there's that one thing I wanted to deal with. Maybe I could talk to these guys about it. Hint, hint. Hint, hint, hint.
Now, Zariel would have popped up and say, okay, now that we've got the transaction complete, Jesus, that was a nightmare. Have you ever tried to explain to someone that they need to do a transaction when they don't understand ownership?
Yes, they're normally stealing stuff.
I thought I was past this. Apparently they've decided that there's, good tidings is something special, apparently.
Well, it is special. It comes around every month.
Give or take.
Give or take. And you get to go up and actually, people don't shy away when you clap them on the back. Just for one day of the year. So, it says we're going north. Like, what's ultimately north, and why, being Dominion agents, are we wanted north?
I have a thing I need you guys to help me out with, if you don't mind. And I have some information that you might be interested in learning about she'll look around to see if Abilene is over here.
Abilene is right there, of course. Doing whatever Abilene is doing.
Yeah, so she's still introducing her shoes to her things, to Sasha. And she'll say, you're a new compatriot that you might find interesting. We also have an ongoing Dominion investigation, which I'm not at liberty to speak of. However, I do have something that I needed to speak with you about. So, cut to the GM to info dump the mission.
Explain. There you go. Oh, you want me to actually say it? Right. Okay. So, let me affect my Zariel voice here. No, it doesn't. Stop.
You all are bad toys.
Okay. Turns out, there is a mission that requires a lack of subtlety. So,
well, I'm your man.
So, okay, now in all seriousness, though, here's the situation. There is a noble lord, not one of the lords, excuse me, just a noble member of the aristocracy of the former kingdom of Alluvia. Now, this noble person has basically fortified themselves in their domicile and is setting themselves up in a manner to, shall we say, resist Dominion rule without actually doing anything violent. Now, the uniqueness of this situation is that it would be incredibly easy to just walk over with, like, military or, and just crush them, but that's not actually what the Dominion wants. The Dominion, and I'm sure Zariel could say this more flowery than I, the Dominion very much wants to show people that they're better than the kingdom of Alluvia. They're better than the Nevere. They're better than the previous governments, right? So they want to look at a citizen who is rebelling and try to deal with it in a a positive way. So they want a group who is capable of being precisely deadly if necessary. They want a group that can handle itself if negotiations go badly, but they also want a group that can basically walk up to the front door, knock, and say, hey, let's talk about this. And so they want adventurers to do that because they'll be uniquely suited to not need an army or armed troops or airship backup or anything that would be big, obvious, we're bringing down the boot on this oppressor. They don't want any signs of oppression because they don't actually want to oppress the situation. They want to reach out to this guy. But they need to have someone who can deal with him, should you need key. There's also some intel, which I could give you later, but it boils down to the fact that he's probably got his own adventuring team defending him. Ex-mercs or ex-adventurers guild people. They'll be nowhere near your level at this point. As basically no one on the continent is at this point.
Well, I mean, lower levels can still take down higher levels.
But, yeah, you are almost positive that they do, at the very least, have one Arma Damnul, which is the prestige class, which nobody's ever heard of.
No, it is. The attached weapons all over your body.
Yeah, it's the attached weapons. It's the weapons expert. It's the weapons expert. And
Abilene's will pop up at that, and she'll be like, "Oh, I've always wanted to meet one. That has to be awesome. I mean, can you imagine if I had Sasha's just everywhere?"
Guido actually fought one before.
What?
Yeah.
In the arena.
yep.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the close one, wasn't it?
I had to have won to have gotten to the
That was the
final
close
battle
one.
with Snarg.
That was the close one. He activated a doom on you with one of his blades that went off after he lost.
Yeah.
I remember that one. You did win. You just then went full. Okay. So this noble is at this location in Alluvia.
In the chests.
They're willing to compensate you. The Dominion's willing to compensate you. They have no idea what you want at this point. You know, what do you want payment-wise? Flexible contracts available.
Yeah,
Flexible
you're on a
contracts.
pay-as-you-go. You're on a pay-as-you-go system, so I mean, just
Oh, I mean, despite the personal wealth, Black Fox still does need money to do stuff. So you can just funnel it directly into that. I'll basically just refer them to my bookkeeper, since he would probably know a lot more as to what needs to actually happen.
Yeah.
I will forward them on to. I would remember his name, but me the player doesn't. So
Yeah. Is there a possibility of
Is there a possibility of what?
stopping by a Dominion outpost or something like that on the way?
For what purpose? I mean,
To
yes.
pass on
but
some information.
to...
To basically, because we originally went up to the fortress on a Dominion mission. So we need to say, hey, we got it out of there.
That's a good point.
Here's where it is. Go and fortify it.
You could theoretically pass that off to
Me?
Zerial, or...
I'm assuming I would probably pop up and say, that is unless you're not finished with your current mission to investigate the Citadel. Guido, did you drive the fucking Citadel to the LaSalle?
No.
Tell me you didn't take the Citadel to the LaSalle.
He did.
I did not drive it.
That is absolutely true.
I drove it.
Snarg, where is the Citadel?
It's over the ocean.
Did you take it to the LaSalle?
Apparently I did.
I'll be right back. And she takes off sprinting over to the whatcha-face and calls in and says, and is basically like, I want a status report on Visay and LaSalle.
Hang on. And there will be a considerable...
She isn't stupid, and she would know what an aetherite citadel would do to a magic island.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Currently, our radar doesn't seem to be picking up Visay and LaSalle, ma'am. Not sure why. Do you have any updates on it? I mean, last I checked, the Tumorok were managing that well, and it was their territory.
You'll want to send some people out to confirm, but it might be gone. So our agents who went to investigate the Citadel apparently can fly the Citadel and put it over top of the island, and that's probably really bad.
By the way, I hope our viewers at home recognize the other reason that's bad. The Tumorok don't necessarily have a concept of ownership, but they do have a concept of mine. I know that sounds like a contradiction, but what I mean by that is whatever
When you're 2 years old, and you have a toy, you don't have a concept of who it belongs to, because you don't really have a concept of yourself as a person, or as your parents as someone separate from yourself, or as that stranger over there as somebody who doesn't know who you are. So anything and everything that you have decided is yours, and you can be very passionate about the fact that it is mine, but you don't understand the concept that it might be someone else's.
So
anything you want is yours, and they have been utilizing that island, and therefore that island is mine. I was playing with it, it's mine.
So the Tumorok might be a little upset at losing theirs, basically, is what I'm saying. We'll see. Hee hee hee. Anyways, so if you guys want to stop off anywhere on the way, you have multiple ways of doing that. You could ask for the platform to stop off. It's kind of slow. Like, in fact, it's actually extremely slow. You could also ask them to drop you off at your floating citadel, which you could use as a method of transportation if you really wanted to.
I guess if we're closest there and this is just going to be incredibly slow going elsewhere, then we might as well head back there and use that. And that way we could actually drive that over to where we can park it somewhere.
It's already parked. I don't see what the issue is. Where are you going to park it? I'm actually kind of curious. Like, where do you have planned to park it?
Well, I mean, can we set up like an actual Dominion place so they can like clear it out so we can actually set it down and...
Actually, yeah. Are you gonna, like... Okay, Zerial, are you gonna let them use your comm that you have on the mini airship?
Yeah, sure. If they... She'll come back after hearing about it and she'll say, if you guys did what I think you did, we might have some issues. But for now...
Whatever.
Do you guys have anything to report into your superiors? Because I've got a link over on...
Yes.
Okay, so come on. My ship comfortably houses 8. I think is what you said?
Yeah. Okay. So you can report in. You can arrange for a spot. Where would you like it to be roughly? Because I'll let you guys decide this. Roughly.
I would kind of like it to be in the very area, preferably nearish to Foxridge, just so we can move stuff easily.
I want to reestablish the elemental ley line and also move an anti-magic tower right next to it.
May I suggest, Snarg, that you not park, because I'm right there, so I'll say, may I suggest, Snarg, that you not park an aetherite thing anywhere near where you're trying to build that ley line. It needs to be into the stratosphere in order to not cause issues for you.
It's real hard to manage if it's all way up in the sky.
If I could make a suggestion to the superiors, perhaps a good place would actually be with the Tumorok. They could adequately guard it, and none of their stuff would be disrupted by the anti-magic field.
Well, the irony is the superiors were going to suggest setting up a Viosian outpost, because the Viosians have access to pure tech, somewhere in the middle of Neveria, or wherever you suggested, in order to pretty much have it be a Death Star, a Citadel dock. Just, there, built specifically and purely for this. It'd probably take a few months to build, but, they were going to work on that.
No, it definitely does need to be quote-unquote finished, because there's a lot of holes in it. It's probably not going to be finished the same way. But...
I was going to say, we could try and add something on top of it, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Can't really weave anything to it.
Maybe knock out some walls and...
Well, perhaps some old-style manual construction?
Yeah.
Well, we really need
the only way to do stuff.
Get rid of that black mold problem, update the furnishings. Anyways, but in all seriousness, I'm sort of asking out of character, but in character, you guys are deciding, where do you want the Geralyn Citadel dock to be? Because it's actually not that hard to set it up in the middle of nowhere. There's still plenty of spaces in the civilized lands that have miles of nothing around them.
So, Zerial would be open to the idea of parking it near where her little city is being built. Not on her little city, but near her little city.
Okay.
In fact, she would be more than okay with, she's not just okay with this idea. She's, she would offer the suggestion and use it as and she would say, flat out, if you're going to make this into a Dominion hub, then that would be my people, and she started referring to them as such, even though they're not there yet. My people would find that beneficial, as I'm assuming the majority of them will be civilian types.
Yeah.
And the additional defense would be helpful. It would also serve as a good point for trade for us since we can't trade directly.
Where is this city going to be?
North and northwest of Collier.
Yes.
What's the Collier?
It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's actually, Snarg, you would know that area because you've been out there before. It's part of the tracts of land that the Centaurs had claimed back when they were still doing stuff like that.
We can't hear you, Guido.
I didn't say anything.
Oh.
I was just huge tracts of land.
Yes.
They're not that big.
Yeah, so it's a decent sized chunk of land, probably I'd say like around 500 acres.
I don't know how big an acre is. I really don't.
The lot you live on is about a quarter of an acre.
The chunk of land you're working with is probably bigger than the entire greater Atlanta area, however big that is.
Okay, so more than 500 acres.
Huge.
It is a rather sizable chunk of land. So I've basically been given a small fiefdom. Didn't realize I'd gotten quite that much land.
Well, I hate to say it, but we're actually going to need more than 500 acres.
It's way more than 500 acres. He just said it's larger than the greater metropolitan area.
Okay.
So outside the perimeter plus some.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be a large enough place, as long as there's no magic there, to be cool with there not being any magic there.
Yeah. You said the field is 1 mile, right?
Yeah, 1 mile,
Up, down, and all
1 mile
around.
radius, to be clear, not 1 mile diameter.
Yes. Up, down, and all around.
Yeah. Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
So that shouldn't be an issue. You just take it, several miles out of town and float it in the air.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So, yeah. So she would make that suggestion. Aveline would probably... I don't know what Aveline would suggest. Aveline would probably suggest that we do a little bit more research into what it's capable of before we make any decisions about where its permanent location is going to be.
Yeah, you don't have to decide now. This really is a
Exactly.
month's project.
That's where I'm going to send one of my better teams to help with this little project.
To scout or to work on it?
Well, to help work on it.
Okay.
Because I have a mite on employ.
Okay.
Never mind.
Guido, do you have any
I
suggestions?
didn't know you were employing me. Can I get a paycheck?
Oh, no, I got it. There's another mite.
Oh.
Ham. Bog. Guido, do you have any thoughts? Because you're the one who hasn't weighed in yet.
Not really.
Okay. By the way, I am paying attention, even though I'm looking down constantly. Longtime viewers of me might know that I actually GM better when I'm doing something, so I'm playing Mario Kart. And it's actually helping me concentrate a lot, so I am paying attention.
All right. So we get dropped. So we get dropped off back at the place. We fly it a long way around.
Yeah. That's... How fast do you want to go?
I mean, we made it in a couple hours last time with I forget the actual numbers for the speeds. But
Why don't we just fast forward a little bit, because you guys are heading to...
I can go probably just as fast as the thing can in my airship, too. Although I'm not sure.
You cannot go fast as the Citadel can go, but you can certainly go fast. There we
Yes.
go. So, where are you parking the Citadel for now to head out to the place?
I guess wherever the guys want to meet, and if we're going to do that right outside the very area there, right over there.
Okay. So 3 days pass.
Okay.
Is now July 6th,
I'm
3rd.
assuming Zariel is not coming.
Probably not. Very unlikely. You are now... I actually have the map up. I had the map up this whole time. I'm so stupid. You're now in the city of Starryham. In
Starry Ham.
It's an actual naming
Where is
nomenclature for the style of
Oh, there it
names
is.
that I was going for the Illuvian things. Yeah, it's right. It's pretty near Holtberg.
It's near the city of Heavenly Turkey.
Now, before we continue, real quick, Guido, do you want to cut it off here? Because I know, sick, bad feeling, etc.
We can keep going a little longer.
Okay, let's do some establishment then. So, city is obviously a metropolitan, very upscale city, very vintage Spanish architecture. Think lots of outlines, lots of flowery designs on fences, railings, and rooftops. Very, very fabulous looking. Lots of unique colorization of the buildings. A lot of kind of bright colors, which is kind of unusual for the area. There's not a huge amount of money that flows through here, although you do know that one of the major hubs of ATS, that's Archon Transport Systems, actually flows through this city, which is probably where a lot of the wealth comes from. I don't know how much else you know about the city properly, other than the fact that it's a city used to money, and so the people here, they don't have a poor district, they don't have unemployment, they don't have a ghetto or a slums or anything like that. Everyone here is upper middle class or higher.
Oh, so they're Vermont.
They're Vermont, yeah, and they. So you show up in town. Now, one of the very first things that happens, obviously you know where his place is. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, little info on him. I actually wrote that down in preparation. Yes. So this is the family of Ivanire, is what they call themselves. It's a long-standing half-elf, half-dwarf noble house. Now, for a little bit of backstory, a lot of the wealth of Alluvia has always sat in one of the great houses of the elves or the dwarves. Now, about a few generations back, two of those great houses merged, and they started marrying their children to each other, and one of those houses was elves, and one of those houses was dwarves, creating the half-elf house of Ivanire, which grew to be a very prominent and dominant member of the aristocracy of Alluvia. They were one of the most powerful, economically, voices of the old Alluvian aristocracy. So these people are not just well off, they are used to actually having and using political power. Now, this particular member is a gentleman named Handar, who is of Stormpike. And Handar, I guess you also are pretty sure there's at least two other members of the family of Ivanire there. Dulin, also of Stormpike, and Baranio, also of Stormpike. All three of these are half-elf, half-dwarves. Now, the intel you got wasn't complete, but you have a little bit of information that they might have hired a specific group of adventurers called the Ark of Light, is what they call their adventuring group. If that is true, then that would consist of a Sclavi, a Mosswart, an Orc, and a full-sized Lugian. The Sclavi would be the Armadamnul, the Mosswart would be...
I see how it is. You'll let full-size Lugians go in other parties, just not in player parties.
Exactly, you understand now. Lugian bias. The Sclavi is the Armadamnul, who's also a yellow mage. The Mosswart is a black mage. The Orc is a white mage geomancer, and the Lugian is a paladin gladiator. Gladiator, the prestige class, not the profession. That is, of course, assuming this is the party that is actually here. Now, this party is actually relatively well known. In fact, I'm going to make all three of you roll int right now.
Okay.
Like, you've heard of them regardless.
I am very smart.
But how much you've heard of is more debatable.
I've heard of them of a 15.
A 15.
I have heard of them of a 24.5.
What the hell? 24.5. Guido?
Unnatural 20.
Nice.
However, my original roll on a d20 was a 3.
So Snarg, you have heard of these guys, and you think, oh, that's kind of neat. Their adventuring group. You probably heard of them when you first started your own adventuring career. They're one of the groups that was just mentioning. Oh, the Ark of Light. Guido, You have heard specifically of Syracuse. That's the Syracuse of Tathix. That is the Sclavi woman who is the Armadumnul I mentioned earlier. And you've specifically heard of her because it's so rare to see an Armadumnul in general. It's such a difficult class to take on that just seeing one in general is rare. And she is known as one of the world's better ones. Sis, as Abilene, you... Oh, wow, no, you don't. You've heard all about them, but it isn't actually relevant. You know a whole lot about them. You might actually be their fans, or you might hate them. That's up to you. But you've heard tons of their exploits. They have been an adventuring company for...
I'm probably a fan, and I'm probably going to geek out.
About 6 years now. They've been an adventuring group.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to geek out.
Okay.
And if you guys don't stop me, I'm probably going to rattle on for a while about their exploits and all of the cool things that they've done. And oh my god, there was this one time I almost got to work with them, but they finished up before I got there. And that made me kind of sad.
Oh. Which one would you say is the most well-known?
Of the 4?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Syracuse, easily. The Armadumnul.
Okay. Does that give me enough...
hang on. Is she going to, Sis, if asked, are you going to, describe her physically?
Yes.
Okay, so the Sclavi in question has red scales.
And pull out theirs. I got their autographs.
Okay. The Sclavi in question has red scales. Now, I mentioned that because that is actually extremely rare for a Sclavi to have red scales. And you've actually encountered a Sclavi with red scales once before.
Whiskor.
No.
No, he doesn't have red scales.
No. I am actually specifically referring way back when you were in the show territories, going after a quote-unquote drug ring of lace lice. And there was a...
Vaguely remember. I don't remember exactly which scene, though.
Well...
Oh, no, I do. That was one that shot lightning at us and just ran away.
That's the one.
Oh. Oh, so we've met before. Probably.
Maybe.
Okay, well, actually, since Abilene has given me a physical description, I'm going to switch the non-water pirate mark off from him.
Okay.
The non-pirate mark to that one.
Okay. So you're now marking the pirate and Syracuse, right?
Yes.
Just make sure I'm correct. Okay.
So you took the mark off of Abilene and put it on Syracuse.
Yes.
So I'm sorry to ask this again. Does it give you direction of where she is or anything like that yet?
Not at the level I have it at.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You really pushed Geomancer the last few levels.
I did. I pushed Geomancer before Bloodhound, so
that makes sense.
Not in the next level. I'll have stupid stuff. So
okay. So you have any number of ways to deal with this. How would you like to proceed? Or would you like to chop it up there? Again, I defer to Guido on that one. Gosh darn it. Are you muted again? Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut it there.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to really feel like crap right now.
No, yeah, I completely understand. Like I said, so the party enters Staraham. Staraham is actually how it's supposed to be pronounced. And they're like, all right, we will go after the Ark of Light and the dwarf, and they will all die horribly. And then
so just get the fortress and crashed into this town, and that'll take care of it.
That would technically take care of it.
We'll scream out, "We are your benefactors."
We are here to help you. Anyways,
this is the better way.